Lineage of evil. Oh my goodness. So there was one point in time that I used to believe that, hey, no matter you're Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, no matter your philosophy, your political beliefs, doesn't matter, that we can all agree that messing with kids is bad. Whether they kids, teens, children, whatever you want to call them, that messing with them was bad, okay? Any type of sexual deviancy with these individuals was a bad thing, that we can all agree that's bad. You need to go to the sun. That's what needs to happen. You need to be locked up. You need a chair. You need an injection, whatever. It seems that all of us agree on this except MAGA.
Come on now, dog.
I don't know what to tell you, but this is a surefire way to know that you're in a cult. If you happen to be on the side where you're trying to run obstacle for, or you're trying to explain when it comes to someone messing with kids, you may be in a cult. I don't know what to tell you. Or you are just completely morally bankrupt. But it really goes to show that Trump is actually right when it comes to his support. How he's talking about how he can shoot someone in the middle of the day and he wouldn't lose a single vote.
They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
I used to believe that was hyperbole, but now seeing how they're responding to actual innocent kids being attacked, I genuinely believe that. I believe that these people are done. They are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They need to be gone, bro. They need to be going to a different country, a different planet, because we can't live around people who are trying to co-sign abusing the youth. They want to talk about transgender. They want to talk about the LGBT propaganda. I hear you, but all of that, okay, if you want to scream all of that, oh, they're abusing the kids, they're trying to, brainwashing them. If you believe all that, but then when we have a whole bunch of evidence of what people are doing on an island of trafficking these individuals, women and children, and you don't care about it anymore, you can miss me with that nonsense, all right? You can miss me completely with that nonsense.
A distraction.
Just ridiculous.
This whole Epstein files thing, a little bit played out.
And I think it's a moment in time where it should be a sobering effect on millions of people to understand that we don't have news. This is not news. This is mere entertainment / propaganda.
He's out of line, but he's right.
I never thought in a million years, listen to me, I'm being genuine. I never thought in a million years that when it came to uncovering a child trafficking ring, that there would be a United States president who would say, don't worry about it.
Because it's a Democrat hoax. That's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax.
What?
They ran on, hey, we're going to release the files. We're going to release the files. Dan Bongino, freaking Kash Patel. Oh, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We know that that's not what happened to Epstein.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list.
You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. Why is the FBI protecting the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list?
Some governments around the world may have some material that's related to the Epstein thing. Bill Clinton was knee deep in this, man.
So that was a fucking lie.
As soon as they get sworn in, as soon as they sit their butts in the chair, well, yeah, that is the story. That's what happened. He did it to himself. That's what happened. You got Pam Bondi. Yeah, the files are on my desk. Well, I meant that metaphorically speaking. And bruh, this should really show you that America is really no different than a lot of other countries. And I mean that in a way not to say, oh, I hate America. I mean that in a way to say, like, the way many Americans view America, we should probably take a few steps back. we should probably just be a little more calm and sober with our understanding of how this country is run. Because really the only difference is it's not in the public. You may go to Russia and other places, and if you do something, they'll execute you right in the public, right? They'll chop off your hand in the public, like, hey, this is why this person is getting their tongue removed. This is what's going on. In America, they're a little more, I don't know, it's a little more entertainment, right? Oh, Princess Diana got in a car accident. Oh no, he ate some bad tuna and died. Oh, that's so sad, right? That's where we are. And leave it to Trump to really even remove that veil. The emperor is butt naked and they're telling everyone he has clothes on. You have Jesse Waters saying that, hey, why do we care about old emails?
For a party that claims to care about affordability, they sure waste a lot of time on old emails.
You don't need to see his identification.
I'm sorry, what? You're saying literally, verbatim almost, the same thing that people were talking about when it came to Hillary Clinton's emails, okay? The same thing. What do we care about emails? Like, so what? What does it matter? That's what they're saying. But the big difference is that this has to do with children, fam. This has to do with trafficking. And they're trying to downplay emails, bruh. From regarding trafficking. You have Trump in one of the emails talking about, hey, he may have, gave some sloppy top to Bubba. I don't know who Bubba's referring to, but what you mean you giving sloppy top to Bubba and they got videos of this and it's like, hey, does Putin have Trump giving...
Just a sick world we're living in, sick people.
Because you have even Epstein talking about, hey, this guy is the worst thing ever. He's talking about Trump. Now, how bad do you have to be for a child trafficker to say that, hey, you are the worst thing ever, you ain't got a good cell in your body? What? And you still screaming MAGA? Huh? You know what? When I see stuff like this, it leads me to a dark area, bro. It leads me to a dark area, I'm not gonna lie. Where it's like, it seems that all the conspiracies that people are talking about the government and how they planted this and how they did that, and how blackmail is so important and such a viable means of leverage, it's starting to feel like a bit real, okay? Because I think we all forgot what happened to Matt Gaetz. And the person he was messing with was 17. And she was trying to get braces. This chick was selling her body to get braces, fam. This is where we're at. And you saw the cover they tried to do for Matt Gaetz. When I think about all this trafficking, okay, when I think about the Epstein and everything, you can't tell me that people in Congress, okay, our representatives don't know anything about this.
Damn.
You can't tell me that many of these people, whether Republican or Democrat, are not the same people who are aiding and abetting this trafficking.
Damn.
It's like George Carlin said, it's a big party, you're not involved. I don't want to be a part of this party, to be honest with you. I don't want it to have anything to do with that. I want to be on the same block of this party. But Trump is such a white ignorant that he knows that, what are you going to do? What you going to do? They can't do anything because they go into the same parties that I'm going to. They doing the same stuff that I'm doing. So they ain't going to do anything against me. And what are the American people going to do? Y'all not going to do anything.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Unless you about that revolution, unless you really about that 1776 life, shut up and dribble.
Come on, man.
And it gets to the point where you have Megyn Kelly. She goes on and I don't know, man. I'm flabbergasted, bro. I get if you want to, rub elbows with Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and the conspiracy and, they got Charlie Kirk. I get that, right? It's all for clicks. It's all for money at the end of the day. Money makes the world go round. But to the point where you're trying to downplay Epstein, because that's exactly what she did. She tried to say, I have on good authority. I have people who know all about the case, not everything, but a good chunk.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything.
What can anyone say to her once she says, well, I know somebody who knows about the case? You can't ask her for a source, right? Well, who are your source? She's not going to tell you who your source is. And you can't deny that, well, you don't know these people. Who are you to say that, right? Who are you? She's Megyn Kelly. You can't tell her what she knows, who she knows, and who she doesn't know. So she's already set herself up in a position where you can't dispute what she's saying. It's a similar tactic that Candace Owens goes and does all the time. Well, I know, I have it on good account from people from TPUSA, and yet, regardless, she goes on and says, well, that Epstein really wasn't into like children, right? He was more of into like a barely legal 15-year-olds.
And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls.
Stop it. Get some help.
Now, pause for a second. I'm unaware in anywhere in the United States of America where a 15-year-old is considered barely legal.
Huh?
I don't know what the heck she is talking about. It's not even a funny situation. But when you refer to a 15-year-old as barely legal, boo-boo, we should be checking your hard drives, okay? We should be looking at your phone records. That's what we should be doing, okay? She should be under investigation. But the problem is, who's going to investigate her? Kash Patel? Dan Bongino? Who's all in on the official story for Epstein? Is that what you telling me?
Damn.
What do you do then? Huh? Who watches the watchmen? Who police the police? The police? So that's already a red flag right there because a 15-year-old isn't barely legal. That's illegal. Okay, boo? 18 would be barely legal, right? 18-year-old would be barely legal. Anything before that, you are illegal. I don't know what to tell you. I find it very fascinating that the same people who can tell an illegal from a legal when it comes to citizenship, when it comes to birthright, now all of a sudden when it comes to age, they're like, well, what's really legal, okay? What does this mean to be an adult? What does it mean to be a child? And I'm like, y'all sound eerily, familiar, similar to what you said the Democrats were trying to push, was the whole MAPS, right? The minor person, attracted persons. Y'all sounding very, very similar to them. And I'm just, it's a little off-putting, not gonna lie. It's not a little, it's a lot.
Brother,
You're hypocrites, but you're not even hypocrites for the benefit of the country. You're hypocrites to the detriment of the country, to the detriment of millions of children. Moving past that, as hard as it may be, it gets worse. Because then she goes on to say, well, he was more attracted to like the teens who could pass as if they were younger, but when you looked at them, they looked like they were legal.
And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Now, riddle me this, Batman. What the hell is she talking about? What is she talking about, fam? We need to put a hat on her with a question mark because she is a new Riddler. Because that makes no damn sense. So let me get this straight. Barely legal, which doesn't even make sense to begin with because you're talking about a 15-year-old. So a 15-year-old who looks younger, right? They look younger.
The very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were.
But you're saying they can pass as an adult? They can pass?
But would look legal to a passerby.
How does that work? How are you a child that looks to be an even younger child, but from other people, you look like you're illegal? It doesn't even make any sense. What she's saying doesn't even make any sense. And the lady next to her, she got a whole Star of David on going, Not one point in time did you say, Megyn, can I interject for a sec? I don't think that's what you mean to say, right? I think you probably have misspoke, right? Nothing. She's just co-signing, And then they tried to joke about Pam Bondi. And it's like, you're trying to discredit Pam Bondi, not about releasing the Epstein files, but you're trying to discredit Pam Bondi to run cover for Epstein. That's what she was doing. She was trying to say, well, Pam Bondi, said that, he did this and that. And, I can't trust Pam Bondi.
And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos that for the first time I thought, oh, no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore.
And like, wait, what? So when Pam Bondi said that this man had this, and it's all documented, you can't trust her on that. Of all things to not trust her on, that's one thing you can't trust her on. This is, it's making sense. I don't want it to make sense, but it's making sense, fam. It's really making sense. And I'm not gonna lie, her having the Star of David all out in this conversation is not a good look, boo-boo. I don't know how to tell you this, but that's not a good look, especially with the conspiracies surrounding Charlie Kirk and Netanyahu and Israel. That's not really a good look, okay? I think at this point, anybody with a red cap, anyone saying make America great again, you're a pedophile, okay? You're a pedophile adjacent, which makes you a pedophile in my opinion. If you're advocating on behalf of a pedophile, congratulations, you are one. That's how I see it, okay? So I guess you can join Drake and have a fun day. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. I don't see the either or here. I really don't. I think all of us should understand that this is not good, that this is bad, that if we're trying to cover up for people who are responsible for innocent children and women being trafficked, that's bad. Surely we can agree on that. But apparently we can't. Apparently we can't. And that's a sad day in this country, a real sad day. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you happen to have a disagreement, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday, disagreement day. Call in, duke it out. If you did enjoy the video, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
For a party that claims to care about affordability, they sure waste a lot of time on old emails.